already hit the button. We live.
We hit the button and we live.
Willie
It's the
hit
Daze.
button, boy.
Episode 17. God
Unscripted
dang.
episode 17, y'all. Much love. We are live and direct. Interstate pod. How my brothers feeling today, y'all?
I'm feeling pretty
man.
good.
I am feeling great, my G. Good to hear your voice. Good to see everybody together again. How you feeling, bro?
Well, you can't see us together, but we
we
together.
We hear us together.
We here.
We are here in unity, in vibe, in energy, in spirit as one. You know what I mean? That's what the Daze is about at the end of the day.
Hey, yo, he got real philosophical at the beginning of the pod.
That's what Tampa do to you, bro. Turn you up.
Yeah, I mean, come on now. We made some moves. Everybody's made some moves in the past few months. There's
Facts.
a lot been going on, and that we've adjusted. You know what I mean? But we still felt necessary to put out the Daze podcast. So here it is, and
Facts.
you know what it is. The Daze is something we all created equally, and it's something that has grown as we've grown. So
Facts, man.
why not continue?
Why not, man? The thing is, the Daze is always relevant. The Daze will always be relevant. Always has been. And the thing is, we didn't create it. We just found a way to be aware of it. You know what I mean? It's there. You know what I mean? It's always been there. It's the thing. And if y'all don't know what the Daze is, the Daze is essentially a concept surrounding the fact that we are all connected through our inadvertent decisions through our life, small things that we do that we don't even think about. It could be the way that the way you took to go to work that day. It could be the weather. These things you have no control over. These affect all of us in different ways, and they come around and they end up playing a part in the way things end up in the end of the day. You know, so it's a simple but complex idea that everything affects everything. So
Very factual. And we've expanded on that in many episodes, documented throughout our course, throughout our set list, throughout whatever you want, our catalog, whatever you want to call it. Go check that out. That's on the Q Brand YouTube as well as just Mixcloud. We have some episodes as well on Spotify, Apple Music Podcast.
Facts.
So go check those out if you want to see our catalog.
years of content.
Years of content. Tell them, Locc, man.
Years.
So, but we're shifting, we're adjusting, we're adapting to the new vibes, and here we are. This is an unscripted catalog, so just like any unscripted, we're gonna run it how we normally run it, and we're gonna get to what we've been listening to, what's been in our ears, what we're excited for. You know what I mean?
Chit.
So let's start with Locc. Locc, what you been bumping lately?
This man gonna
brother?
put me on the spot, man. What? Anyways, man, I've been bumping a lot of trap music, man. It's something about I've realized that trap music has a tendency to mute your emotions. It's really interesting. I didn't notice that until after I listened to it. Listened to a couple albums for a couple days, and I was like, man. And then I listened to like some dancehall or listen to some R&B, and I'm like, dude, I just feel so happy or something like, you know what I mean, or whatever. I'm like, I ain't felt this emotion in a minute. Like also because I've been bumping this static line of just straight hype, turn up music, cross the line type shit. But I've been bumping a lot of Thugger, man. Bumping a lot of Thugger, a lot of Lil Baby, a lot of Juice WRLD, man. A lot of these young cats.
R.I.P.
Facts, R.I.P. man. I haven't bumped that new Mac. I'm waiting till the 17th to bump that whole album as a whole. I don't want to bump the track. I heard it's amazing, but I feel like
Agreed.
a lot of it is hype. But I want to listen to the whole album and just
For sure.
as it should be. You know what I mean? But that's where I've been at, man. Bumping a lot of hype, man. A lot of Thugger. That whole melodic trap wave is just something I really in vibe with right now, and it's something that got me going. So, yeah, man, that's where I'm at, bro.
You want to know what your little comment right there reminded me of? It reminded me of Thugger interlude on Black's East Atlanta Love Letter, where
Fact.
he's like, you know what I mean? I can't bump none of that.
Yeah, if I can't
I've
dance.
been wanting to bump that trap shit because it make me not think about all that other shit that I don't really want to think about. But
That's facts. It's crazy.
It's where we're at in this new era, I would say.
It's a really good point.
Willie, where you been at? What you been listening to music? What's up?
I'm not gonna lie. I've been listening to Summer Walker and Ari Lennox's albums on like repeat.
No, I feel you.
Like,
Feel you.
not even like
Those are in fact your vibe. So
I like. It's my vibe, and it's not like the newest thing out. It's like I didn't listen to either one of those when they first dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And
we know
Yeah.
it's documented.
like going through like a breakup had me on Summer Walker's joint like heavily. Like Summer Walker's album for me was what 808s and Heartbreak was for Locc in high school.
Back in the day. I was a young boy.
And I mean, bro, that's another good point. I don't mean to keep referencing Black's album, but like I didn't listen as Locc when that first dropped. He was raving about it, but I couldn't bump it because of my own personal timing. You know what I mean? And that's the day. Sometimes you get to things when you get to it, and you music is special because when you hear it and it hits you in that certain time wherever you're at, then that's cemented for you.
And I think that's really important that you raise a good point, because like everybody always talk about like what the new wave is or like what the new vibe is or where we floating. And a big thing for me is what I notice is when you in the ocean, the wave doesn't hit everybody at the same time.
Facts.
It's the same wave, and it's meant to hit different spots at different times because that's how everything flows.
Facts.
And when we think of waves, we think it's supposed to hit everybody at the same time, but you got to let a wave be fluid.
Yeah, for
you know
real,
what I
man.
mean? So like,
True.
I really like how like Summer Walker's project, I don't know if it's technically an album or not, but me not hitting that wave when it first hit the public was actually the best thing for me to do. You know,
And that's what it takes. Because again, I've stated a lot of times with albums on the show itself, like that hype surrounding music when it first drops, it's like you can't really fully get an unbiased opinion on it because you're most of the time you're hearing it from other sources, or like when you do bump it, then you like you open any of your apps and the first thing you see is an opinion about what you just heard. So it's like, how do you take that in unbiasedly and to how it used to be, basically?
Exactly. And that's one thing, like when part of the reason why I started listening to this track, because I came across a song, more so I came across like the video, and the song itself was pretty dope. And it was that Gang Gang song by Jack Boys with Sheck West. I don't know if y'all have heard that. That whole Jack Boys project is pretty dope. I think it's like Travis Scott's like
it's his
people.
label.
He got his people together, and it's mad. It's pretty dope. But I've been
Well, he
bumping.
has his own label. I don't know if you knew that.
I can tell because they like it's Jack, and like that's his name, and it's like
Cactus Jack.
his actual name I think is Jack, like JACQUES. It's like spelled like Jacques, like French.
like that's
Jack.
government.
I'm pretty sure that's his
Yo,
name. Yeah.
his teachers had a field day trying to say his name.
No, they already knew. That's a well-known name. It's Jack, but it's like I pronounce it as
Like
Jacques.
French?
Because it's like Jacques. That's the way I say it, Jacques.
Yeah.
But it's Jack essentially. You know what I mean? I work with a dude that's named Jacques, and he go by Jack.
Hey, yo, can you imagine somebody that got a bottle of Jack Daniels in the car and they like, hey, bro,
Jacques.
I have Jacques in the car. And
got some
you like,
Jacques
"Ooh,
Daniels."
I'm like, is that champagne or something? You go out and just a bottle of
Got some
Jack.
bubbly? You like, nigga,
and you
why'd
like,
you-
hey, I'm with the shots and everything, but you had me thinking this was like bubbly or something. This is some whiskey.
No, but back to the like, you know what I mean? It's just like music hits you when it's supposed to. You find what you need and you attach yourself to it. I think that's part of the reason why I wasn't able to attach myself to a lot of new music when I think back on it now, because I wasn't really moving forward anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of just chilling. You know what I mean? That's where it was. And I feel like I wanted to stick back in the spot. But at this point, like I'm listening to nothing but new music at this point. So just trying to expand. But
I think that goes to show how like we love to say, oh, somebody's late or somebody's like not hip or something. But what I notice a lot of times is like because of where somebody is, they not supposed to be hip right now. This is not like you gotta trust like the timing. And I hate to say
It depends. It really
no,
depends.
No, very seriously, because let's think about one of the most influential things in the world, music. Right? Music hits you. So if music is hitting you too early or too late for you and what your timing is, like you really
Willie,
not getting the most out of it.
I agree, but like you got to also admit there is a segment of people that are truly disconnected.
In what way?
Facts. I mean,
socially,
yeah,
just socially
culturally,
disconnected.
Culturally, socially, they disconnected from the zeitgeist in general, not understanding not understanding that there is a wave that is coming. There are also those people. There are always the outliers. So.
And it's segmented as well. Like think about us in this podcast, our group alone. Like me and Will are on Twitter more than Stacy is. So therefore, like certain Twitter shit, we might understand. You know what I mean? Like it's little shit like that.
So let's break this down because I like this. Waves are in different spots in the ocean, and like if you're in a different part of the ocean.
I'm not disagreeing with that. Like waves don't hit you,
but in this
case, point. But like sometimes you're just totally disconnected from something that it doesn't hit you at all.
When you should be connected, like in this
Whether
case,
that's what I'm saying.
But in this case, though, in my case, like I should be as connected as y'all two are. You know what I mean? In most
Not
cases,
necessarily.
like, I mean, but that's my job. Beyond this stuff, you know what I mean? We talking about pop culture critically. I should be in tune with what's going on in pop culture. It just kind of makes sense. By any means, like, you know what I mean? And y'all were more in tune with everything that was going on, and I was out of tune. You know what I mean? And given I was out of tune for a lot of reasons, I should have been, but personally, in my personal situation, maybe I shouldn't have been. Because I had other stuff going on. I should have been in tune somewhere else.
And I think that's how you figure out how you grow, though.
But it doesn't change the fact that I wasn't in tune on the show. Like,
I know.
No new music. Like,
but here's the other thing. Like,
Willie's trying to give these people like a foundation, but like some people are just truly disconnected. Like,
no. I don't disagree.
I didn't mean to reference that exact point to mean like Stacy's hella disconnected or whatever. But like, it is one of those things where it's like some people aren't on social at all. So you know what I mean? Like, what about those people? So it's like some people
are they connected in real life? Are they connected in day-to-day things that are going on?
That doesn't mean they listen to, but maybe they don't listen to any new music. I mean, yeah, they might be connected in other ways. Of course, that's what it comes down to.
Let's think about how the fact that monks disconnect purposefully just so they can reconnect spiritually.
That's a different purpose, though.
And some people,
but that's sometimes what people are doing, is it not?
Sometimes there's a lot of people that are disconnected not by choice, but by circumstance or by nature. Some people are just naturally not into that stuff, but some people are. Some people try to be and they can't. You know, I know people that try to be and they can't, bro. And that shit is, I mean, it's frustrating and it's sad to try and work with those people, but still, it's people that are out there and they don't even know that they are disconnected. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. All right. I see what you're saying. Those who are disconnected, that is completely unbeknownst to them.
Facts. And they're not even really thinking about it. They just disconnected, niggas out of touch. You know what I mean? And the thing is, you see a lot of that stuff. Even on social media, you see a lot of that stuff because people coming out with these rogue opinions. You be like, man, what are you even looking at? You even watch?
Okay, yeah.
Are you reading these articles?
And that's the days. Yo.
Facts. That's the days. That's their days. And that's the whole idea of it. But to continue with our conversation where we was getting started, AT, what you been bumping, bro? I know you got to be on some different vibe because you out there in Florida.
Hey, yo, real talk. AT was dodging having to answer this question.
No,
you noticed that?
I was about to get to it. I've been listening to, first off, the PopCon OVO first release is it's growing on me. I like a lot of tracks off of there. It's just a vibe, especially out in this warm weather. It's great. All that, you know what I mean? I like it. I like it a lot. There's just, again, like PopCon, he's one of the biggest Jamaican artists, and there's a reason for it. So I mean, is for me. It shows. It shows in the music. So
real shit.
I'm happy that he's signed to OVO now, and I'm sure we'll get into the Drake conversation, the Drake interview a little bit earlier, but like I'm glad Drake finally acknowledged him a little bit after all the years of maybe biting some ways.
6 years, bro.
Can PopCon get too commercial?
Maybe. Yeah.
He is.
It's possible.
He is the standard right now. He is the commercial standard. I feel like, and he is setting that standard.
And let me. I'm talking commercial in a negative sense. He's got the correct. He's finally getting the.
That's the.
And I'm sure again, Willie. It's hard for us to tell because we're not Jamaica. We're not on the island, so it's like it's one of those things where it's like most of the time, like me is like I like his music, so it's like. I've liked his music for a while too, but like to say that he switched up and become more commercial, like it's hard to tell because I'm not on the island. You know what I mean? Like, did he sell out that kind of? So I just know he makes good music. He avoids media. He does his thing. He has his persona, and I don't hate him for it. I respect it. So
I feel like personally,
congrats to him.
as someone as like Popcorn is in a peculiar situation because he is the person that's going to break through to the standard commercialized pop market with dancehall reggae sounds right now into the future, basically like this futuristic sound. He's going to break in,
bro.
He's breaking through, but that's the risk that he stands is to become the standard for commercialization because
True.
he will become the standard for what's suitable on the radio or what's suitable in the industry for dancehall reggae. You know,
And true, and that leads me to where I was going with the rest of this
He's
conversation. Is what really dropped this week. Sorry to cut you off, like,
you're good.
but
I was just going.
it's
I was just going to
Well?
say one thing before you continue. He's in Drake's position, so Drake's position that Drake was in 10 years ago.
but different.
When Drake dropped Best I Ever Had, it was like, oh, this is so new and fresh, and then it became commercial. It became what became the norm for what was like pop hip hop almost, and people turned into that. And it's like Drake now got looked at for a few years where it was like, this nigga's just commercial. This nigga is this nigga is that. But it's like that's the music that nigga's always made. So it's like it's interesting to.
That's a
look at it.
conundrum, though. Whatever
Yes.
is new and fresh has to then become what's the commercial.
This is the risk that you play to be the person to break
And
through.
I think that's what his point was.
That's what I'm saying.
That is,
That's
that
what I'm
is the
saying.
risk.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think obviously like he's not on Drake's level, but I
No.
think that it's possible. But you got to
then
think
if-
a lot of the new Jamaicans, again, leading to my next kind of point is a lot of the new Jamaicans and even some of the stuff. Vibes dropped the album this week,
Right.
And that's way different than any Vibes album we've seen previous. So it's like, and I just saw him posting on IG like he's like number 2 in Canada, number 10 in UK. Like he's doing numbers, and literally, if you go on the Apple Music page right now, it's literally his album is on maybe the first or second page of albums for all albums Apple Music. Like that's big. And then on the third page is my next point, which is that Governor album from Governor, who's I first came familiar with when he was messing with Adonia, and he was on them like BBC One extra freestyle videos that I showed you guys way back in the day.
Yep. I remember those.
Where it's like that's where I first got hip, but that album is something way different, and it's futuristic, but it's traditional. I like it a lot as well. So there's, as far as the Jamaican scene, there's a lot of stuff that's been coming out on the earlier side as well, because we're 12 days in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's definitely good to see, and obviously they've been pushing the barriers. And I even watched shout out to Fix, because I watched Governor's interview with them, and he was just touching on a bunch of different things, and just how he doesn't even really necessarily move with all the dance hall people because there's always all that beef and all that unnecessary energy that kind of comes with it.
Yeah.
And that's why you see him kind of homies with some of the reggae guys. And he's got Proto featured on his album, obviously, which is it's a huge collab. Good
Yeah.
song, major song. So it's like all that is big. So it's like same with Vibes. Vibes has Jesse Royal, who is, again, another reggae guy on Vibes Cartel Music. Come on, man. Big collab, though. So it's nice to see. It's refreshing. So it's like the islands will always do their thing. Obviously they're at a weird place again with even Ghana, Africa, that whole area where it's like that scene has become very influential now.
Yeah.
Obviously because of the sound, and it's like their next the leaders at that scene, their next few moves are very influential. They'll be very telling as where it goes in the future, at least.
I think Ghana as a country is going to be one of the most influential powerhouses this decade. I think
Should have been. It should have been years ago.
I know,
Willie.
I
That's the
know,
sad
but
part
like,
about it.
yeah, I mean, like I said, we're getting this wave like late, but it's just like I feel like what's gonna happen is like we always paid attention to what Ghana did in reference from something else. You know what I'm saying? I feel like now we're gonna pay more of a direct attention to them and what they're doing. How are they moving things forward? I'm willing to say this decade we're going to see Ghana become like like a major worldwide like fashion power. So like even delving out of just musically
I feel like
and culturally we're gonna get that from
in
them.
this case, I feel
I
like
can definitely
both,
see culturally.
I feel like both Ghana and Nigeria are in a similar position going into this year. Honestly,
Yeah,
on
let's
both our artistic standpoint when it comes to music and fashion and that type of culture, but also a sense of pop culture as well. When it's just like when it comes to music and when it comes to even fighting, you know what I mean? A lot of them have a lot of athletes and stuff like that coming out of these countries who are making like or becoming superstars within their own right within the states. You know what I mean? And they're taking a lot of that attention and wealth and a lot of that media back to their home countries. You know what I mean? So that a lot of that stuff is being shared. They're sharing a lot of wealth back home.
Which is definitely good, but I think I definitely agree on the cultural side. But as far as like economically and all that, like it's still because we don't directly. Again, there's so much turbulence in those countries. Like we don't directly know what's going on.
Exactly.
So to say behind the scenes. So it's like it's hard to say. Like again, what I said earlier. Like they should have been like if there isn't as much turbulence and like it's a little bit more stable and like one ruling class or like one kind of democracy is in power and like the giving back to the people, like the country could be it could be like a Wakanda, you know what I mean? It could be way ahead of you.
When they have media and stuff like that and people actually looking at it and have eyes on it, they start having people hold those officials and those governments accountable for what they're doing over there.
And I agree, but again, like it's one of those things. Like
it's a step towards
no
change.
Matter the media, it is a step. But again, we know we have to accept part of this new era is that no matter what, the government, bro, like at the end of the day, bro, like there's so much stuff going on across the world where it's like if you have enough money and you can buy people to protect you. Then you can be a government. We could, all three of us could own our own government right now if we put our money together and bought some people to fight for us and we declare ourselves a government. So it's like, that's where it's like, it's shaky in this new world, I would say.
But I don't think that's even something that's part of the new world, quote unquote. 'Cause I think it's always been that way. You know what I mean? That's part of the reason why so much shit happened in the past 200 years that didn't make no fucking sense. When you look back, you're like, what happened? What the fuck? Why? Like saying, look at. I mean, I only know this information because of Burna Boy's album, but that situation with Nigeria, you know what I mean? And it was a business, you know what I mean? It was straight. It was money. It was a transaction of money, and it caused for Nigeria to become a piece of property essentially, and it became a government because there was so much money moving around. And that's the way they had to manage it essentially. You know what I mean? And it was
but it was already too late, like
facts.
Because other people owned it. So it's
Facts.
like it's one of those weird situations. Like even in America, the most free country on the planet, like
quote unquote.
Look at what we didn't vote on whether they just hit Iran. Like we didn't vote on that. We didn't decide whether you know what I mean. So it's one of those things where it's like. The government can still, at the end of the day, if there's enough people at the top and those people control enough of the country, they can essentially move however they want.
Exactly. And that's why we got to control what we can, which is ourselves and how we move throughout that shit and just staying aware of the fact that that's the nature of our reality when we walk out the door every day. You know what I mean? It's the fact that like you don't have the control that you believe or the control that you feel that you have. If you do feel like you have that control, it's not actually there. So
how do we gain that control at least?
That's all we want.
That's
the only goal.
You have to understand the fact that you don't have the control right now.
But where can you gain control in life, I guess, if you don't have that? Like
play the game, man. It's a game.
Or Willie, get rich enough and buy your own island and just make your own rules on that island.
Exactly. You got to beat the game.
Can we but all right, here how about this? Can we operate within this ocean just on a different part of its coasts and then have our own waves? Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's what's going on. I mean, that's literally what's going on. That's why Ghana's situation is so much different than what we're doing here, but it's also similar because it's still water. You know what I mean? It still has to operate some way. It's just going to be a different type of wave. You know what I mean? Same thing in Europe. Look at Brexit. Look at all that stuff. You know what I mean? Those are a whole bunch of different countries going through this similar situation. You know, it's just, it's a revolving door. I was listening to High for Hours, J. Cole yesterday, and I didn't think about how deep that song was. I think about it every time I hear it for real, but man, yesterday it just hit when I was thinking about it. He was talking about, you know, the abused becomes the abuser, and that's just how life go. He was talking about how revolution may not be the answer because niggas revolt and they do it over and over again. And it is a cycle. You figure out how to beat somebody, you beat them, and you want to do to them what they did to you. And you run around and do that shit again. You know what I mean? You try to find this way to operate, but you have to pull yourself apart from the situation. With this many people involved, it will never happen that way. I feel like it's a matter of finding people. Exactly. It's too many people. So I feel like we have to get to a point where, as citizens, I ain't gonna be no politician. On some real shit, I'm not about to be president. I'm not trying to be president. But the thing is, I need to find a way to operate when there is a president, because there always will be somebody up there that I can't trust. So I need to find a way to operate within the construct that they put in front of me, because there will always be one. You know what I mean? And that's the freedom I got. My freedom is knowledge and awareness.
And again, one of our biggest flaws, sorry, Will, is greed, man.
Oh, facts.
No matter who we are, like, you get something and you want more.
I think Locc raised a good point, but my question I would like to pose then is, shouldn't we figure out the rules to the game as quickly as possible? Because let's be honest, this construct this is put in front of us, we didn't have a say in it, but we should start to try and figure out what are the rules to this game so we can play it. Exactly. And how can I tell you the rules as soon as I figured it out? Because I need you to be. I can't let you get left behind.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Your whole biggest tools right now, the way to get to freedom, your freedom is knowledge and awareness. Being aware of what's going on and understanding how to move throughout it. You know what I mean? And I mean, what?
Unfortunately, we can't. The problem with you can't ever neglect just genuine, like, money and just wealth.
Exactly. You need money to operate.
That's the unfortunate part about this
construct.
whole conversation.
It's always a catch. I mean, the thing is,
again, you could be if you were just on your own island. Think about it. Willie B has his own island, and you just there, and you make the rules, and you decide what goes on. Like, but how do you exchange stuff? How do you buy stuff? You know what I mean? Like, it still comes down to, like, how, and even then, like, how do we get our own island? You got to have money.
And then you got to have defense, because most of these, like you said, these niggas is greedy, bro. They're just going to come take it from you. They got 1,000 niggas that rode up with assault rifles, and they would shoot you. And it's be like, this my island now. What you going to do?
I don't think you need an island.
I need an island.
You need a house?
I don't think
I need an island, Willie.
I think you need a community, and that's it. If you set up
essentially,
your community,
that's what, bro.
But no, it doesn't have to be. Is because island makes me feel like it's detached. I feel like you can come in and out of a community, but when you're in that community, you're like, this is how this operates.
So you want a city?
I don't think it has to even be as big of a city, but I was thinking it had to be a legal incorporation, which the smallest thing would be a city.
And think about it. That's what they do. Gated communities, all that. That's that concept. But it's like.
But I think you can do that for culture. I think you can.
Is that good though? Is that good though?
Huh?
Is that good?
But you don't. But like, no.
It's that good. It is called segregation.
No,
right?
not like
no
in
matter.
that sense.
Well,
it is. No matter what you put on it, it is segregation, bro.
No, all right. Listen. No, listen. Segregation is what you do to, like, create a divide. As far as I would like to say, economic inclusion from the disenfranchised. So when you are the disenfranchised that's trying to create a community, a culture, and an economic fashion in which it is all you guys building up because you are those that are disenfranchised, that's not segregation.
You are trying
to
sell segregation.
Bro, segregation is to segregate. Bro.
You are selling segregation, Will.
To
get segregate.
No, because all right, listen.
No, listen. You are when you say disenfranchised, you are describing the Jim Crow era. We're not talking about Jim Crow. We're talking about segregation. Segregation in itself is
think
splitting
about
people
what
based on
is.
certain characteristics and likenesses.
You're not splitting. You're creating a culture, though.
You are creating a culture based around specific likenesses and characteristics,
but
which
that's
is based.
anything. So now,
exactly. If it's based on
what's
race,
wrong with that? What's wrong with that though? What's wrong with having a Little Italy? What's wrong with having a Chinatown? What's wrong? Where is us in a city?
The thing is, The
We
little
might as
Italy
well
is
get
They
an island.
created that.
The thing is, exactly.
Might
the
as
thing-
well get an island.
It's different. It's just different. It's not
So
like.
how is it different if
when,
we
when
do
you say
it?
the way you said it, when you say community, you want to create a community where you say people can come in and out, but it seemed like you're trying to say that only certain people can live there. Only certain people can really be there for real, and other people can kind of leave.
It's just
that
no,
day
no, no.
type
I'm
shit.
talking.
Like,
I'm talking
it's
about.
like,
I guess I'm talking about.
like, oh, you want a little Ghana in Cleveland? Is that what you say? Like you want a little you want like a little African like alley or whatever where it's like just African shit going on.
I want more
little
than an
alley?
alley, but less than a
Yeah,
city.
an alley.
I feel it. I
No,
mean,
I want an
so
entire.
so
But
you
like,
want- you want
but
a
you see,
city.
but you know what I'm saying? What's wrong
a
with that?
little China, a little Italy, a
Chinatown.
a Chinatown, a little Italy. That stuff is different than having a city that's based on Italians or a city that's based on Chinese citizens.
But that's
or a
why I said
city
community,
based
not
on-
city, though.
Exactly. If you say about community, that's still it's like weird. Like that's where the Indians live. You know, it's just weird. Like
But
that's where
that's
the,
real, and they do that because they can stick together.
I feel that too. But the thing is,
What's
still,
wrong with it though? It's
like-
the way it was sold to you.
I just imagine you being like, there's a sign that says Black Street.
Hey,
and
real
it's
talk,
like
real
Indian
talk.
Street. It's
In
like,
Hey.
New York, when you in Little Italy, there is a sign that says Little Italy.
it's Little Italy. That's different. And New
and-
York is
and I-
different as well. That's
and
not
I-
that's not the same ball game. That's
Don't,
like
Alright,
don't
how
get me.
so?
Hey, Willie.
Oh, you saying like
listen.
if it's a
Willie.
legal city?
no. That's what I'm
Willie.
saying. I'm trying to explain. That's what I'm
Willie,
saying. Are you
Willie.
saying you want a little Ghana? Like I'm literally being serious when I say that. That sounds like
Yes,
what you
I would
want.
love to be able to go into a city and it's like, yo, there's little guy or there's new Ghana.
Willie.
over
There's
there.
places like that. They
Willie.
just don't call it that though. You know.
Willie,
All right,
listen.
yeah.
First off, man,
Hey,
it's
yo,
one
he
of
said
those
first
things.
off.
It's one of those things where I'm sure the Italians, the Chinese, they appreciate that area and they appreciate that recognition almost that they're influential enough to get something, a district or a segment of town called.
Just to stop you right there, they
Yeah.
also that's a taste of home. Those people usually are either 1 or 0 generations from their home country. We are several generations, several hundred
Exactly.
years out. You know what I mean? As
It-
African Americans, and that's one thing is that we don't have a direct connection and we don't have a direct value. And a lot of times there isn't even that much of a demand there because the African population isn't that prevalent. So that's a one.
That's
thing.
that's the problem with what kind of
Yeah,
what
Jamaica.
Willie's talking
They have-
about.
they have,
But
like,
but
Jamaica
listen,
and
listen,
Queens.
listen.
like-
What I'm saying is like at the end of the day, I'm sure those people that have those communities, they appreciate that they have those communities, but at the end of the day, they don't want to be defined by those communities. And what I mean by that is that they don't want to be like when they go out in the general public, they don't want to be like, oh, they're from that community, or oh, we're riding through this community, so we have to act a certain way, or we have to react a certain way because we're in this community.
It feels like a
no one-
dystopian, sick, like future, like some
And-
TV show on Netflix where it's like this is like the X sector over here, and it's like they come in and it's like a day over there, and it's like they wear certain colors and shit. It's like it's just different. It feels like segregation.
I personally, I've always like anytime I've traveled and anytime I've been in any place, I've always wanted to blend in. You know what I mean? So it's also one of those things like they want to stand out and be recognized and like be appreciated, but like at the same time they don't want to be like faulted for their differences. So that's the problem with certain stuff like that as well. And again, Locc's point earlier where he's like those people recognize that place as like a home. I had an experience the other day where I was like, I went to this place in Tampa. It's this Jamaican restaurant, and I ate some food, sat down, talked to the lady that owned it, and it was a whole experience because she was really Jamaican. Her accent thicker than my dad's. You know what I mean? So it's like I felt like you know what I mean? I feel like I'm at home. So it's like, yeah, you want those places, but like I don't want to. Again, like I've told you guys, there's reasons why I don't boast like I'm Jamaican. Like you don't want to be like pointed out for that difference.
You don't want it to be
a
something that you're defined as, like you said.
Right.
You don't want to be
Right.
defined by that. And it makes total sense because everybody's an individual, and especially in this age, like you want to try and exercise that individuality. And partly, a lot of times when you are different in terms of culture, when you have a different culture, that's part of what makes you different. but it helps you to embrace the other things that help you unique. And a lot of times when you're growing up, that's the first thing everybody dwells on. Everybody's like, oh, you Jamaican, oh, you this, you Chinese and this, and you Japanese. Like everybody kind of focus on that the whole time, and they try to find ways to just become themselves. And it makes sense that they don't want to be defined by that, but it also makes sense that they want to be able to go to a place where they can actually appreciate it and enjoy the culture for what it is, you know?
Because they want to be accepted. And I think that we end up dealing with that on a day-to-day basis. And that even comes from within ourselves. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't accept themselves.
It's human nature, man.
Yeah, and so I think when we give ourselves a sense of self-acceptance, then we'll be able to navigate through this game and within the constructs that have been put upon us or around us, because we are at minimum very accepting and sure of ourselves, and we need to be able to instill that in those around us, because the sooner we are instilled with that self acceptance and self-loving, then we'll be able to grow together, and that's where the communities come naturally.
Okay.
And that,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that's how you hey, but you had to let me get to the point.
You got there 3-4 times, bro. We had to take you there with us. We had to.
Yes, Willie, but again, at the end of the day, like all that is nice and like, but you need like-minded people to accept you. Like if you don't have that, it's still like you have to be like one in a billion to like essentially like get there yourself. I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
You
man.
need at least one or two. Like you need a few like-minded people that like somewhat inspire you, somewhat get you to that level to feel appreciated.
That's the thing. It's like whether it's inspiration, whether somebody's helped directly or indirectly, like putting their hands on it, or they just inspired you, or they showed you something different. You know what I mean? Nobody is going to be able to get to that top by themselves. Like it just don't work like that. Whether you was in the studio by yourself, grinding all that stuff, that's what's up. But you learn how to mix and master from somebody. You were inspired by someone. You know what I mean? In order to do it this way and go about it this hard. You know what I mean? And plus, in a lot of cases, this stuff isn't necessarily like. It's not necessarily by choice. This stuff is nature. Your human mind naturally wants to try and find a community that it can belong to, that it can thrive within, that can matter. You know, it can matter within. So if you have yourself in a situation where you're isolating yourself purposefully, you're gonna feel the effects of that shit going down. Whether in all aspects of your life, whether you're creative or you're a professional, and you gonna feel this shit in your work, you're gonna feel this shit in your relationships if you have any. You know what I mean? But the thing is, like, moving through life, like you cannot just sit back and just expect shit to just work out, or you to just have all the answers. It just don't work like that. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like you said, like governments and stuff like that, bro. That's a group of niggas plotting on another group of niggas. You know what I mean? It's always a group of niggas. It's never just like really just one body. It's always one person who kind of like inspired the rest of the niggas to move with them, and then them niggas helped, and they was all moving, and they inspired each other type shit to keep moving. But like, man, it's always a group of niggas versus another group of niggas, man. You know what I mean? It just really is like that shit. Same thing with music or anything like that.
That's honestly like one of my biggest downfalls of like religion. I feel like if religion is honestly our earliest form of like segregation.
Facts.
Where we like literally like, all right,
well, that and race.
You believe in that God, and I believe in this God, so like we must be different. Mm-hmm. So it's like, but at the end of the day, there's only really one God. You know what I mean? There's only one higher power that like put us all here. And
when you look at all of these beliefs side by side, it's like, chill. You know what I mean? Like, relax, dog. It ain't even like y'all really y'all saying the same shit, dog. That's how me and AT be arguing. We be over here arguing and be saying the same fucking shit. And that shit be annoying. Niggas be like, nigga, we arguing the same point, bro. What the fuck? Like, and niggas, that's exactly what the fuck religion is half the time. Niggas is saying to be a good person, fucking stop acting wild, nigga. Don't abuse shit. Be moderate, and fucking everything gonna be cool in the end type shit. That's basically all they saying. And if you can't do that shit, then what you doing? You know what I mean? Of course that shit not gonna be for you. But like, it's just like trying to. I was talking to someone else about that shit. I was like, man, look. If anything, like religion is something that can be debated, but it's like, the whole idea of having someone tell me exactly how to live my life, I just can't deal with that. Or having someone tell me exactly the specifics on how to move forward. It's like, you know what I mean? I feel that, but like, if anything, I know myself, and I consider myself pretty spiritual. And I feel like all the things I've been through, I feel like I have my own relationship with the universe and with, you know, the higher being itself. You know what I mean? Whoever it may be God, Allah, whoever you want to call it. I feel like I have my own relationship, and I can move forward with that. And I feel like if you consider yourself religious or spiritual, you should be able to respect it. You know what I mean? So, just how I feel with that stuff, though.
Most def.
No, for real.
Most def. We went on a rant for a second.
I know, man. We was talking about some wild shit right there. But, man, back to what we was talking about, dog. Kodak is still in jail.
Yes.
And he dropping songs.
Hey, he doing the Lucius Lion.
Facts.
He also like tweeting shit on IG or tweeting shit on IG. He's posting shit on
This
IG, commenting on IG. He recently actually just commented on one of Drake's posts, talking about Drake's one of his biggest inspirations, and
What? I didn't know he was
Yeah.
doing stuff like that on IG.
this is his most recent kind of activity, I would guess. This is what from hold
So
on.
somebody has his account, or is he really in jail?
This is on Friday, January 10th. So literally,
This is
2
yesterday,
days
or
ago.
a couple years ago. A couple
2
days
days
ago,
ago.
yeah. So
He
this
hopped
dude
on
is
Instagram to share his love for the Six Gods music and his desire to work with the OVO rapper. He commented under one of Aubrey's IG pics from earlier in the week.
Hold up, Aubrey's.
I am your biggest fan, sir. I love your music, sir.
Oh my.
He added, if we can't do a whole album together, I never want to do a song with you, sir.
What? That's how you
So,
feel? But he in jail for the next 3 years, or the next like 2 years, I guess, right? And some
4
change.
years, I think he got sentenced to.
I thought it was 3 years and 10 months or something like that.
Well, we'll just have
that
to
makes
wait and
sense.
see.
Yeah, facts.
He's still dropping, though, obviously. We heard something. I don't know exactly when that was released.
That
With the
Harriet Tubman track.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know exactly when that was released, but I don't know. But yeah, man. I mean, that's classic Kodak, though. You know what I mean? You look at it, Kodak just staying busy. I wonder what his PR team are thinking right now. They feel like he's slipping in between the cracks or something like that.
I mean,
I think that's a PR team's job to like always be trying to find
I
that.
mean, but a lot of times, like, Smurda just been in jail. Like, I mean, like, where's Smurda? He been in jail for a minute. Like, man, we still talk about him, of course, but like, he just been in jail. He ain't been doing nothing. You know, he ain't been dropping nothing. He just been in jail. Everybody he just in jail. You know what I mean? Kodak just can't be in jail. Kodak just can't take a break. I feel like Kodak, if anybody, needs to go the Smurda route and just take a break and just be in jail. You know what I mean? Just really just do your time.
Hey, yo,
and be,
wait.
be in jail.
Hey, yo, I think you just gave the piece of advice that like no rapper gave Kodak. Like everybody else was like, stop doing all the illegal stuff and like all that. But like nobody was just like, yo, Kodak, just take a life break. Like, yo, you need to go away for a while. Because if you don't go away for a while, then like we're gonna force you to go away for a while. And that's exactly what happened.
I don't know if you guys know, but supposedly he also posted about how he's been being mistreated in prison.
What?
Wait,
yeah,
what?
Like, yeah.
Are you serious? What was he saying?
Yeah. So again, it says in November he was sentenced to 4 months, and then he posted something supposedly that said, on October 29th, I was laced with an unknown substance here in Miami, FDC. That substance gave me an out-of-body experience, and it had me feeling like I was possessed and dying slowly. So,
I remember that.
mean,
Didn't he
so,
get in a fight with a guard and shit around that time?
upon this experience, I managed to go to the CO's office to seek medical attention, as shown on surveillance cameras. I was denied. This left me in a state of paranoia. He then added, shortly, this is from BET article, by the way. Shortly after, I got into an altercation with an inmate. This same CO who denied me medical attention, proceeded to pepper spray me, which instantly impaired my vision, and I was oblivious to who was punching and grabbing me repeatedly in the face. Even after I was on the floor, they continued to strike me and deploy more people. He then went on to detail a near-death experience. I was summoning for them to stop while gasping for my breath. He wrote, adding, "This near-death experience felt like dogs were tearing at my skin while they were grabbing and beating me while I was under the influence of this unknown substance that mysteriously hasn't popped up in my Uranus analysts. And mysteriously, the inmate and I was fighting with went home the next day." He continued, "I was beaten so brutally that I had to be taken to the box in a wheelchair. I had been here for 45 days without commissary hygiene, stressed out, and I'm on psych meds." Sadly, in the post, he also claims he had to mourn the loss of his brother Juice WRLD behind the doors. Prior to this, there were a few inmates who were intentionally beating up an officer and no charges were filed. Meanwhile, I get into a fight with another inmate and this officer jumps into an inflict harm on himself and capitalizes on my status as a local celebrity. I had officers tell me that the CO was okay that night and that he was trying to go this route because he self-checked himself in the hospital. I've also heard officers tell me that the CO has been back to FDC and bragging that he will her $250,000 from me. I don't know what that means, but sketch. In conclusion, Black wrote, "I want to shed this light on police brutality and the tactics they use to cover their behinds."
So
behind this post with the hashtag Justice for Kodak. The FTC Miami has yet to respond to the disturbance claims.
So Kodak is in jail getting abused. This is crazy. I feel like he's gonna be in jail forever. This is but they haven't extended his sentence though.
Yeah, I don't know. Seems sketch to say the least.
Facts. That's all I can really say. But
people, as we know, people disappear in jail, and we
facts.
don't really get too much behind it. So
right, yeah, man, that's crazy.
It could have been one of those situations. Like they just who knows, bro.
Yeah, I hope Kodak is hanging in there. Hope that he is able to figure himself out, man. This is crazy. I just hope that if he does get out of there, when he does get out of there, that he doesn't go back, man. That's all I can really say. You know. That's all I can really say, bro. Let's hope that he don't go back.
Unfortunate situation.
Quite. But we still here.
We still here. We still looking for new music as
Facts.
always.
Facts.
We didn't really touch on what. I mean, you did a little bit. Obviously, we got next week. We got coming out Mac Miller.
Yes, sir. Next Friday. Good Circles. The second half of his concept albums that was gonna be Swimming in Circles. It's crazy that all this is coming out now.
You guys looking forward to it?
Facts, man. I was on his Twitter the other day. I was looking at his last few tweets that he sent out before he passed, and it just seemed like he was in a space like he was just gearing up for the tour. He was gearing up for new music. He just wanted to do so much. So it's frustrating to see all that get cut short because as a fan, I felt that energy. You know what I mean? I felt that it was so much more. After listening to the first album, I felt like there was going to be another part to it. 'Cause there was it was like a part 1 on there. Some of that stuff felt like there was more to it. I don't know how to put it, but I felt like it was an unfinished thought, and he was going to just continue that stuff. So I'm excited to see the way this is about to go. I'm happy that his team and his family appreciated his art and they understood this dude enough to be able to push this forward after his death. You know what I mean? And be able to make sure that they knew that he would want all this stuff to be heard and all this work to be put out. I just think it's dope that his people really had his back like that. You know what I mean? I know he was real close with his parents and all that stuff, so it's just dope to see everybody back in his dream, back in his vision and everything like that, and even in his passing. So I'm super looking forward to it. I'm not going to listen to good news until then. I've heard a bunch of stuff about it, like we talked about before. Even when it's an artist that I love, man. Even when it's an artist that I love, even when it's Cole or whoever, man, it's like an artist that I put up there that I pretty much fuck with all their music. If they drop something and everybody just raving about it, it is really difficult for me to go listen to that with a clear mind. You know what I mean?
As Willie said earlier,
I just go into that stuff thinking too much about all the noise, man, and then my expectations be too high, then I end up disappointed, and it's just frustrating. So I just want to be able to listen to that stuff on my own. I'm not really listening to anything. I've just seen some stuff because people are posting about it. People saying crazy stuff about this song, like this is the best song of 20. People just putting it on a really high spot, and I'm just like, I don't want to do that. I just don't want to do that. So I'm just taking my time. I'm definitely looking forward to it, though. It's something that it's gonna be a vibe, man. I saw the post on IG, and I was like, what? Like, it straight made me pause. I was like, dude, it's just crazy that they really, like, a year and a half later almost. You know what I mean? It's pretty dope, though. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Are you looking forward to it, bro?
Yeah, I mean, after death albums are always weird for me. So
Facts.
I'm definitely, I love Mac Miller. I love his whole come up. I love all that. You know that. So it's like, definitely want to hear it. But
I'm hoping that it's not like full of features.
we'll see.
I hope
We'll
it's not
wait and
like-
see. That's
like-
all. That's all we can say. We also got.
20
We also
features.
got Bad Boy soundtrack supposedly coming out next week. We got
What is that about to be like?
070 Shake album coming out next week. A Blueface album coming out next week.
Blueface. 070 Shake. Who was that? Who you talking about?
She's the chick on that Khaled feature. The Khaled. intro.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Speaking about kind of that noise, have you guys seen the Drake interview?
No, I have not watched the whole thing. It's too damn long, bro. I've watched part of it, but I've not. You mean the Rap Radar?
Yes. Sir.
Yeah. It's 2.5 hours long. That shit longer than most movies. I don't even watch movies because they're so long. So that's the thing.
Willie,
I'ma have
how
to-
about
Yo, he said, I don't even watch movies.
I
'cause
ain't be
they
watching
so
movies
long.
that much. I be watching them.
Y'all different. That's
No, I'm gonna try and watch at least. I'm gonna try and get through most of it by the end of the week. I've gotten through 30 or 40 minutes of it, and it's just like it's interesting to see the way that they look at a lot of this stuff. You know what I mean? If anything from that, it's like looking behind the curtain almost. You know what I mean? Just interesting. So, why? Why'd you ask?
I mean, obviously, that again, we were talking about noise. You can tell all the noise around that, and it was
fact.
good. Obviously, it was good to hear Drake talk in that light, and it was good to hear some of the timeline, I guess, of his come up. But it brought about more. I feel like more questions. Willie definitely hasn't listened to it.
No, Will has not listened to it.
Quiet. Can't power y'all. Y'all the worst to power.
Man, get out of here, bro. The Rap Radar thing is just that shit is just mad long. We are not the worst to power with. That shit is that's a lot of content to try and digest. I just haven't had the time for it because just haven't.
You got
But-
30 minutes a day
Okay, I can do
for
that.
4 days.
All right, bet.
Yeah, that's on you.
Do you think Mac Miller
Y'all time
had-
management skills.
Do you think Mac Miller had a journal?
I don't think he did.
I would love to that's one thing like the artist should do is like, cause when they die, that's what the shit I wanted to be.
That
like,
sounds
released.
so fucking dark. Like to be like, hey man, hey look, bro, hey man, you starting to pop, dog. I'm gonna give you this journal, right? I want you to write something in there every day, bro. I don't care what you write, just write something, bro. Cause look, you know how niggas be dying, right? Like you might die. So when you die, I want to make sure we got something to drop. Be like, hey y'all, this for the fans, bro. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That is crazy. I don't know. Of course.
Why did you paint? That's totally not how.
That's
I was
literally
trying to
what
paint-
you said. That is
paint that picture.
Will, you love segregation and you want niggas to keep journals just so they can so we can share them once they die. You are crazy. No, Will on some dark shit. Is the moon full today? This man. But I do feel like anybody should keep a journal, not so that the fans could look back on it, so that they can look back on it when they get through the tough times. Will, not so that the fans can look back on it after they die in their 20s. Okay, midway to stardom. Okay, midway to superstardom. Okay, this nigga.
No, I'm just saying people should naturally keep journals. And then in the case of an artist, like how we have Da Vinci's journals or how we have like journals of like Socrates and stuff like that.
You ain't got me.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like I would just love to know the thoughts like that triggered your music. You know what I'm saying? Like I would love.
That's your privilege though.
Yes.
So you want them to die, basically.
No.
I swear that's what you said.
This whole shit sounds sketch. Well, otherwise you wouldn't be able to get those inner thoughts.
I would love for celebrities to release their journals every year.
How about
like
this?
I wish, imagine if you saw Oprah.
How about
Imagine
this?
if you saw Oprah's journal, fam.
What is this?
Every year,
Are you buying stock in her journal and she's paying you dividends every you get to fucking just get a page of it.
Hey, I'm finally getting through to him. He talk about them dividends.
How about I feel like if anything, every artist should have a YouTube channel that they vlog on daily or weekly because that would be supplemental.
Be that public,
and I feel that too. They don't got to vlog about all their personal. They can vlog about anything. But I feel like they can vlog and just be talking about certain stuff, be on there, show their face, do whatever. But
that's
I feel
fire.
like that's supplemental income. There's a couple young rappers that do that shit because they know it's money in that shit. But that's supplemental income and they got fans. I would watch a vlog of Jid just doing shit in the during. I'll watch a vlog of Earth Gang just doing random shit during the day, or fucking Kenny Beats doing random shit, or Black. You know what I mean? I would watch those vlogs. You know what I'm saying? So it would make sense if they was just like doing shit like that, random, like, oh yeah, we on tour, or we going out to eat, like just random shit. That shit is interesting because that's the life of a star. It's just something different. But that's about as ethical as I'll go with you, Will, when it comes to a point of an artist documenting their lives for another person's enjoyment. Yeah, I could go with a vlog, maybe, not a journal.
So a journal is just too personal.
That is a whole other way. That is work. That's not fun.
Oh, no. All right, you missed what I'm saying.
No, that's sketch, bro.
I wish artists naturally, like some people are just journalers. Like some artists are.
That would be cool.
So like I'm saying in the instance of like say Kanye journals, just naturally. Kanye journals.
I don't want to read Kanye's journal.
Yo, Kanye's journal would be fire. Kanye's journal would be totally fire
so
if he
crazy.
If Kanye journaled, bro, that would be a fire journal.
Shut up, bro. I'm not reading Kanye's journal, all right?
I'm about to ask the congregation.
Ask the congregation, bro.
I understand that it would be
what
cool.
The congregation says,
but I'm not gonna like push for initiative to make artists keep journals so that we can read them once they die. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. I just can't back that up, bro. Okay, let's move. Okay, yeah. So yeah, journals though would be dope. Stuff like that is always dope. Having a look into an artist's mind and what they really be thinking, you know, it's always interesting. In this case, we didn't have that. But let's move forward with the show. AT, what are your predictions or expectations for the year, man? What do you see happening for any certain genres, any certain artists, man? Any specific numbers you can pull out? Anything that you see happening that may not be obvious to everybody?
Well, then.
Sorry to put you on the spot, but you know.
I would have to say that what? Lil, why are you laughing like that? I'm really looking forward to Joey Badass album.
Fact. I was bumping some old
one.
Joey. I heard that.
Some Joey Badass album is on the way. We also got the Cole album.
This nigga got like 35 tabs open. Okay, no, this nigga Will. You probably do too, knowing your ass. Look at you. You sound guilty, bro. You sound like you got 35 tabs open.
I'm also like, bro, I gotta say something. Like, I really appreciate that Futsal Shuffle track from Lil Uzi Vert.
Yes, yeah, right. It ain't bad, right? It's actually something that's I feel like it's
He's
interesting.
Highlighting dancing, bro. Like,
yeah,
off jump, like nobody's dancing to anyone.
Oh.
I go out and I don't see no one dance like that.
I'll be dancing.
Like, where can we dance? If this man's making dance music, I'm for it, bro.
So you hype for So you hype?
I'm interested to see what he does with his album. Yes.
When do you think he gonna drop? When you think he gonna drop? Like early
First
summer?
quarter.
Really? First quarter?
Yes.
So within the next month and a half.
Next 2 months. Yes.
Bet.
Yeah. How about y'all?
Let me ask you one more before we go forward. When do you think Cole gonna drop? And how many times do you think Cole will drop this year?
Cole is gonna drop in. I want to say April, but I'm not fully committed to April, so I'm gonna say a little bit later. I'm gonna say like,
Yeah, Cole be late.
June. God damn it. He gonna drop in June.
That's crazy. It was didn't he drop?
I
Thorn Center
say
in
Cole
June?
drops August.
Didn't he
Straight
drop?
up.
You think he gonna drop? I think he might drop September.
August.
He might drop September and try and go back to the
We
debut.
gonna come back to this too.
Okay. Well, okay, but
I mean later in the year.
And do
What's
you think
the winner
if-
win? This is a bet, goddamn it. What is the winner win?
I put 50 in on it.
50?
Oh,
yeah.
this
Nigga, I ain't putting no fucking 50. This
But
nigga
what
out there
happens if none of us are right?
nigga? Then nobody.
it's
right?
closest.
It's closest.
I do a $25 Amazon gift card to whoever win.
He said,
Did you get one of those for free or something?
Nah, I
And that's
just the only thing that makes sense because this nigga live in Tampa, so I snap you 25 or I cash app you 25. Not no 50.
So wait, so we making it back 25?
25. I ain't doing no damn 50 for no Cole album. He might never drop.
65.
What? What are you doing? Why?
what?
Why are you doing this?
Hey, all right, how much? All right, let's do
Cole
100.
is an enigma. I'm not
Don't
trying
want to
to
do
bet.
100?
I don't want to put.
A
What are you
100.
doing, bro? I'm not doing that.
Bro, I'll do 100.
Why are you doing this?
Because Willie hate J. Cole, so he think he winning.
So he said Cole gonna drop in August.
Hey yo, Locc revisited now.
Oh my God, man, I can't do this.
Cause he thinking like, bro, if I get 100 from
So
both
basically,
Willie B
if he
and
drop-
AT,
Bro, but Stacy, if he drop anytime after September, then you won technically.
That's deaded.
basically, yeah.
I don't know, man. Now
But
got
if
me
he
You
drop
got a whole
anytime-
3 months after that.
But if he drop anytime in the next 4 or 5 months, I won.
See, I'm
Oh,
not
so
doing no
mine is
100.
pocketed, so I have to be.
He has
like,
to drop in the summer.
Yeah, Willie has the lowest chances to win.
I'm not doing this.
I took the highest risk. It sounds
I'm not
like.
doing 100. Dog.
Yeah, you definitely did.
I'm doing.
All right,
I'll do 25. I'm not
You do
doing
25. Will you do?
I'm
Will you
kinda
do
going on
35?
cruises. Yeah, I do
30.
35. That's fine. I do 40.
50?
I'm not doing 50. 50 too high. I feel like I'll do 40.
All right, hey, all right, AT, you in this?
I guess.
So Will
40
got the
wait,
summer.
No, so you.
AT got anything from here to June. And Will got anything from July to August, and I got September to December. Why AT got the first half of the fucking year?
Yeah, y'all niggas lost. See you
Fuck that
later.
shit. Fuck that shit. AT got between now and April. Will got from
No, now
there
in
to,
June, Nick.
Nah, nigga.
I said June.
We gotta split it up 3 ways.
No, hell no. I said June.
Nah,
I
I ain't
said
doing
April
anything.
originally,
No deal.
but I'm-
Anyways, my expectations.
He said no. Deal.
My expectations and
Yeah.
predictions for the year. I am excited for Drake's album. Drake shall drop something crazy this year. I'm really excited for that. It's
Facts.
probably gonna be something interesting. He may even drop twice this year, with one of them being a collab album. I may
OVO
call
need to.
that.
I'm mad in that Rap Radar interview. They didn't ask him if an OVO album was coming. That shit would be hot.
Who is on besides Division, Party, Drake, and Pop? Who else is on there? And Saba.
Magic Jordan.
Okay. Magic Jordan. That's like Division number 2. Okay, though, but for sure.
I don't know who else after that. Honestly, there's got to be more people, right?
They all the same niggas. That's how I'm saying. I don't know. It would just be Drake. It would just be a Drake album. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
It'd be a Drake playlist, bro.
Basically, but it'll be more life too.
I'm with that, bro.
I feel that too. I'm actually away.
Like we get like 2-3 Drake PopCon collabs.
See,
like
if Pop drop, that would be dope. But I'm looking forward to a Drake album. I'm looking forward to a Drake collab album. I'm looking forward to a Rihanna album this year. Hopefully, it's been like 3 or 4 years, so I'm actually looking forward to a Rihanna album. Apparently, Shaggy denied being on her album, So I'm like, oh, there is an album
Yeah,
coming.
I saw that.
So I'm kind of hype. Hot 97 was talking something about that. So I was like, whatever. But that looks interesting. So I'm excited to see that she's
All
having,
of Jamaican Twitter was bigging up Shaggy for like, yo, know your worth, King. Know your worth, King.
that's real shit. That was like, don't sell out. That's real. But I'm looking forward to the album.
We gonna
though.
sell her ass back to Barbados.
I'm looking forward for the album though. She needs to make a statement. She's been out here. It's been a while. I'm looking forward to, of course, Cole's album and Black's album. I'm looking forward to another Black album. It's been almost a year and a half since East Atlanta Love Letter dropped. I am looking forward to a new album from this dude. This dude got a kid now. He in a whole different space. He been traveling the world. I just want to listen to some music from this man.
Side note, OVO has Drake, Popcorn, Party, Magic Jordan, OVO O'Brien.
No.
Roy Woods.
No. Oh, yeah, okay. Roy Woods. Okay. You got that one.
Division, as well as in-house producers 40, Boy Wonder, T-Minus, Mike Zombie.
Oh, T-Minus over
1985, and Future the Prince.
Okay. So I missed one nigga. I missed Roy
supposedly,
Woods.
Supposedly Baca Not Nice is on there. And
Not
else
nice.
named,
That's why they be saying. That's why they got the
and
green
somebody
light.
else named Plaza.
Plaza? I've heard of him actually, but I haven't heard a lot of his music. But the thing is, though, that's not enticing. Like I said, I named off everybody I could think of.
As Dreamville.
Hell no. That's why Dreamville is like it's like a high school class full of niggas that can rap. It's just like so diverse, bro. It's just a bunch of random niggas. Right. It's just crazy. Niggas from all over the world, literally, all over the country, literally, all different types of backstories, different type of spaces, different types of vibes. It's just a whole situation. It's a melting pot of hip hop, and that's dope. OVO is something different. It's not less than. It's just different. You know what I mean? It's not that. That's all it is. And them niggas got their own following and their own respect. Like, remember how Weeknd was when he dropped Trilogy, or not when he dropped Trilogy, but when he dropped like Balloons or like Thursday. Like when he dropped those individually, he had a very niche demographic similar to the OVO. Like that's the OVO cliche, is like you only got like you got a bunch of fans, but they in this area and they only know this stuff. It's mad specific, you know what I mean? And then you branch out from there as being mad like exclusive and stuff like that. That's just how it was. But like when you look at a lot of these other artists, it's different. You know what I mean? They coming out and they trying to hit you in the face with their hip, but they mute with their sound, and they trying to pop, and they are popping. So it's just different. And I don't know, it's different. That's all it is. But yeah. Back to what we was talking about. Who else am I looking forward to for this year? I think that's
Willie. Who are you
might be
looking
it,
forward
man.
to?
Summer
as far
Walker.
as like what I want, as far as I want to hear, what they want to drop.
Yes. Who's dropping expectations? Oh yeah, I didn't finish. My bad. My expectations, man. I think I think Cole might drop twice this year, honestly. So that's the thing. That's why I feel different about the bet we was talking about.
Right,
He
so,
might drop
right.
twice.
So how do you do that then? How will we
You
do
don't.
that?
We don't. Continue what we was talking about. That's my expectations for that.
But no,
I do
like what
feel
happens?
like
No, I want to know what happens to the bet
I'm
if he
looking-
drops twice. Is
I'm-
the bet off? If
I'm
he
looking
drops
forward
twice?
to another
He already
debate.
said the bet was off.
I'm looking forward to
Yo, I
another.
feel like he just said that.
I'm looking forward to another DaBaby
That
album.
nigga don't want to bet.
I don't gamble. I'm looking forward to another
you
DaBaby
just
album.
did.
Nah.
You just did. You
Nah.
said you put in 40, and we
called it off.
confirmed. You calling off
I
your
said
bet?
no deal.
He
And
definitely called off his bet.
but you can. Man, we got this stuff recorded. It's all on audio, bro.
Yeah,
I
he
ain't.
definitely called off
Yeah,
his bet.
but yeah, another DaBaby album. Okay, Stunning for Vegas album. All right, I'm done.
Willie, who are you looking forward to?
See, all right.
Thank you.
Brother,
I don't like the
brother,
way. I don't like the way the
brother,
question is phrased.
brother.
I'm not anticipating any drops. I just have certain artists that I really wish they would drop a project.
Who?
I want Brandy to drop a project.
Thumbs down.
Why?
Cause man, I never really liked her
Did
voice.
you hear her? Bruh,
If Monica dropped the album, I'd be more about.
why
that.
Monica over Brandy?
Cause man,
Are you serious? Is this real?
it's just real. I'm sorry. Something about Monica. But I'm sorry. When I think about when I hear Brandy, I just remember her trying to take the boy from Monica, and I'm like, she don't deserve that. So I just feel like it was always
She don't
Monica.
deserve that.
Nah,
She deserves better.
nah. But who else? Who else should drop this year, Will? Besides Brandy.
Another person that should drop this year that I would like to hear from. Can I pick a dream collab?
Yes.
I would love to hear like Tony Braxton and Summer Walker.
What? That's crazy.
But do you
Yes.
feel it?
Yes. I do. But what do you expect for the year, though? Like, what do you expect to happen, man? I feel like I expect dancehall to actually burst into a point where it's playing on the radio at some point. Like, I might hear Popcorn on 107.9. I don't know how that might happen, but it might. Or they may have their own radio stations up here locally. They might start popping. So, what do you expect, Will? What you doing, man? You over here multitasking.
Yeah. I'm just trying to remember what I'm saying. So
This nigga
like,
trying to remember, but he.
who do I actually anticipate dropping? I anticipate I anticipate another Sunday service project.
Really?
Just more thought out.
He dropped 2 albums in like 3
No,
months.
Kanye dropped an album and then Sunday Service dropped an album. I see Sunday Service becoming its own entity.
Like Free Nationals with Anderson .Paak.
Yeah, like how they can do their own thing, and then also how phony people is. And you know what? I also see. I'm calling right now. I see phony people releasing their seminal project to a larger stardom. You know what I mean? Like I see phony people getting like nods for like a possible like best album, not necessarily Grammys, but like as far as like the award show period, you don't see them with that recognition yet. But I see phony people being up to the plateau at least that we put the internet when they had that seminal album.
Yep. Okay. I feel you. Okay. AT, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Unscripted, my people. Much love.
Unscripted. No.
Y'all got any last words? We've been going about what, hour 20? That's long.
Nah. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, we vibing. I don't know. I ain't really got nothing left. We just had to touch on the expectations and the predictions for the year because we had low-key, like, went off
We
the
missed
script.
out on our year-end wrap-up, bro. That shit went last year.
Low-key, yeah. That shit
So,
did go.
We don't want to get into detail. We just trying to move forward. That's what it's about. That's how you conquer the days at the end of the day.
Facts.
So, Locc, last words, brother.
Man, much love to y'all brothers, man. Happy to have had y'all back on a pod, man. Back on a pod wave. Definitely something I missed. Definitely something trying to get going back consistently. Whole wave, man. So, and to everybody who listening, man, appreciate y'all for sticking through after, I don't know if y'all was here back a couple years ago or just in these past few episodes or this your first episode. Appreciate you for clicking and listening. And listen to the whole thing. This is a lot of talking. I doubt it. But yeah, much love though, man. Again, until next time. This year is nothing but another day. Keep moving. Remember the goal, and stay motivated. We here.
Yes, sir. Willie, last words.
Make sure this year, this decade, from now on, that you do your research. For real, make sure you're always doing your research, and I want people to travel more this year. If you've never been outside your city, go outside your city. Go to the next city. It's some people haven't been to the other side of town. Go outside of your territory this year, because once you break that mental bondage, you really start to see how the world is your oyster. And lastly, this is my last point. I want people to do more of what they love. Whether that's spend time with your family, whether that's reconnecting with family, whether that's just spending more time with your friends or having more experiences with your friends. this life, when we end it, is only going to have memories. Make those memories with people you care about. Spend time with those you care about, and as many as possible, because you're going to have those memories later. Things that you buy, that'll drift away. But make memories with your friends this year.
Real talk. Well,
Speak.
thank you, y'all. Thank you. I'm glad we can make this possible. Another unscripted episode 17, Interstate Pod. You feel me? We catching the interstate vibe. We catching whole type of different energy, but that is what it is. Days in effect, y'all. We will be back. We keeping it consistent this year. You already know what's going on. Much love. Check the links in the bio. We'll see y'all next time.
Next time. Chew.
Peace.